What's up, everybody? Walter Benaziak here. Thank you for checking out the Awesome Walter YouTube channel. This is up about a week late. I apologize for that. A lot of stuff got in the way this past week. I was doing the top five episodes over on Channel Awesome, and a few things just got in the way of me reviewing this, but I'm finally here, ready to give you my thoughts on it. This is the 25th anniversary episode of Power Rangers. This was on Power Rangers Ninja Steel last Tuesday, I believe it went up. I wanted to watch it at least one more time before I give you a review, so I took some notes on it and everything. Overall opinion right now, I definitely liked it better than the 20th anniversary, the Legendary Battle and everything. I felt like this was a more focused team-up with a smaller group of Rangers, and I think that helped the episode and helped a lot of people who are just watching that, who don't watch Ninja Steel. I don't watch Ninja Steel. Who were just there for the nostalgia of it and to see the old Rangers come back. That helped with it to give them more of a character arc, especially Tommy, of course. So I'm going to get into my thoughts on this right now. At the very beginning, which is where this scene takes place, we see that Tommy is coming home, and he has a son named JJ. He's talking to somebody on the phone, presumably his wife. We don't know who that is. I'll go back into that a little bit later. Now, this is interesting because just a few months ago, Boom Studios and Power Rangers announced that they were going to be doing this little graphic novel or a short story called Power Rangers Soul of the Dragon, which is about an older Tommy, and his son gets kidnapped. And that was supposed to be our first glimpse at Tommy's son. Well, they kind of jumped the gun on that a little bit here. We don't see him, but we hear his voice for a second. He sounds like a young kid at this point, so I'm assuming this might be a little bit of a setup and a tie-in to that comic when it comes out. That comic sounds really cool. It's like him coming out of retirement to find him. And I wonder if more of the stuff that happened in this episode will play into that story. We'll see. But I just thought that was really interesting that they made a big deal out of that announcement that Tommy's son was going to be there in this book that's going to be coming out. And he actually is in this episode for a split second. So I thought that was really cool. I do want to say that there's different dimensions. This episode's called Dimensions in Danger. The different dimensions and the whole plot and everything, I mean, everyone could pretty much see that this is kind of very reminiscent of the Shattered Grid thing that's going on right now in Boom Studios comics with, Lord Draken over there, which is the evil version of Tommy. And here, this is Lord Draven, and he's trying to destroy all the dimensions and all that, and has these Ranger clones, these soldiers, which just like the Sentries and the Shattered Grid and Lord Draken run over there at Boom Studios. So just name similarities. There's an evil Tommy in this, an evil robot Tommy that the real Tommy fights in this episode. Just very similar type of motivations and names and things like shots and stuff. There's a shot with Lord Draven and evil Tommy like going over, seeing all their evil versions of the Rangers or whatever, and that looks just like the shot from the Shattered Grid short film that Kyle Higgins made a few months back that made such a big splash. Very similar stuff there, so I don't think you could be a Power Rangers fan and really not notice that stuff. So at least they're drawing from good stuff, right? I mean, at least they're trying to kind of bring maybe the older fans into it that way, maybe. So that was pretty cool. I guess I kind of get why we had an evil Tommy, so we could have a Tommy versus Tommy fight. Which was great, but like the reason we were watching this wasn't to see like evil Tommy, you know what I mean? Or I mean, maybe not just robot Tommy. We don't want to see like just a fake Tommy, you know? I mean, if they wanted to turn Tommy evil, if they want to do like a callback to Green with Evil or something like that, then that would have made a little bit more sense. But I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird, and some of the effects. It's Power Rangers, I know. Some of the effects on those robots was super weird looking. And just kind of took me out of it a little bit. But, just having Tommy have a big role in general was cool. And, I guess it was worth it for the Tommy on Tommy fight, but I don't really know why we had to have a robot version of Tommy in there. Some of the effects were really good, though. Like I said, some don't look great like the robot stuff, but, I mean, there's the Falcon Zord thing at the end that looked really good. Some of the fights looked really good. That's one thing I could say is the action in this was a lot of fun. It took me back, and more than that, it was just a pretty well done episode in terms of the fight and action sequences and stuff, which I enjoyed. Some of the fighting with, I know that they had to shorten some stuff down, but some of the fights with Tommy, with Jason David Frank and stuff, I mean, it just looked really good. Some of the choreography was awesome. Just getting to see them fight and even the other Rangers and stuff, it all looked pretty good in terms of the action in this episode. So that was something that I really appreciated. And you could tell, I mean, there's deleted scenes or extended scenes on Nickelodeon's YouTube channel where they have the fight, Tommy versus Tommy fight extended and stuff. This feels like it should have been longer. I don't know why. Everything seems a little like crammed in, if I'm going to give any like type of criticism to the length of the episode. I don't know why this. I mean, why not have it like an hour? It's the 25th anniversary. Why don't we have an hour episode? I don't get it. I don't know if there's like a budgetary concern on Nickelodeon's part or whatever, but I don't really understand why this was obviously. It felt like it was supposed to be longer, but just being the half hour, it was still entertaining. Just it felt like everything was just smashed in. You know what I mean? So that's, I guess, just one of the smaller criticisms I have of this episode. But yeah, going back to that Tommy versus Tommy fight, we have the Black Dino Thunder Ranger, which was the evil Tommy fight. Tommy, the real Tommy, as Red Zeo. And then the white and green Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with the introduction of the Master Morpher. So that's going to be probably on shelves pretty soon. Am I going to get it? I don't know. We'll see. It is gold. I mean, like I did kind of want that gold, the Tommy's Morpher from Mighty Morphin. I never got to have a chance to get that. So maybe I'll get that. We'll see. If it's compatible with the other coins and stuff, that would be cool. Or maybe we can buy coins to put in there. Sold them separately or something like that. But yeah, I think that they're probably going to introduce that coming up here, and that's probably going to be a pretty good seller if it's like the metal, really well done die-cast parts like the original Legacy Morphers and stuff. I hope they do it, because I might get it. Are you going to get it? Let me know in the comments, because I'm interested to see what the level of excitement is for that item, if people are going to buy it or not. So. But yeah, that fight was awesome. Just seeing the White Ranger and Green Ranger again, especially, come back there and destroy the evil robot Tommy. It was a cool fight scene. I really liked the work in it, and just to see the Green and White Ranger again and Red Zeo was really cool. I really liked it. I already talked about some of the visuals weren't great in terms of the CG of the Zords of the Super Ninja Steel Rangers and stuff. But I mean, that I could look past that stuff, obviously. I love the shot when they all morphed together, the 10 Rangers that came back, and the Super Ninja Steel Rangers, and the explosion behind them. I mean, it's a classic Power Rangers trope, but it never ceases to look awesome. I thought that was so cool, and I really, really enjoyed just that one scene was great. And then the fighting with the Soldier Rangers, Draven's Soldier Rangers, whatever you want to call them, that was all really cool and really well done. Just a great visual to start things off. So I did want to address this thing with the Red Mighty Morphin Ranger. So if you are watching this, you guys know that the Red Mighty Morphin Ranger, Jason, is my favorite Power Ranger ever. And I want to say right off the bat that I really like Rocky. I always liked Rocky as the second Red Mighty Morphin Ranger and as the Blue Zeo Ranger. I'm a big fan of Rocky, and I've met Steve Cardenas at conventions a long time ago. He's a really nice guy, and I do like his character. And I'm totally fine with him being in this. I think that's awesome that they brought Rocky back. But personally, this is just my opinion, I think he should have just been the Blue Zeo Ranger. I mean, I know that they want to fit in with the branding and stuff, the Red Mighty Morphin Ranger, because he's part of that 25th anniversary logo, and he's kind of like the centerpiece of everything. Just that design of the original Red Ranger for Power Rangers, when you talk about the legacy of the series and stuff, that Red Ranger design is always brought up, is always used, and the helmet and stuff is always used to promote like the older series and stuff. So I get why he's in it. I understand. But from a story/fan perspective, I don't think that the Red Mighty Morphin Ranger, should ever be in something like this unless it's Jason. It just doesn't feel right. Rocky, I think, should have just been the Blue Zeo Ranger in this, and it wouldn't have made that big of a difference. I mean, again, I know why they had him in there as the Red Ranger, but it just doesn't feel right unless it's Jason. I mean, I know that this was all a big centered plot on Tommy and everything. And I've interviewed Austin St. John like a couple years ago at a convention, and I was talking to him about the Power Rangers 2017 movie, and if he was going to be on that. That was before that came out. And even then, he was very kind of protective of Jason, and he was only going to do stuff if it was something that he thought was respectful of the character and the legacy of Jason and everything. And like, that's cool that he has that kind of reverence for the character that all the fans have the same reverence for. So he probably was contacted about this, and maybe he didn't think he had a big enough part, or maybe they just didn't contact him, and they just went with Rocky because they thought that would be easier. But in any case, I just don't want to see the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger unless it's Jason. That's just my opinion. Love Rocky, like I said, but I mean, it just feels a little wrong unless it's Jason for me, especially in a big anniversary episode like this. It would have been great to see Jason, and we didn't get that, unfortunately. But it was great to see Rocky nonetheless. I like that he was in there. And he looked great, too. Yeah, Steve Cardenas looks really good for, I don't even know how old he is now, I guess like early 40s. But he looked really good. I was like, wow, he looks really young in this. It's also great to see TJ, the Blue Space Ranger. He didn't go into Red Turbo. He hasn't been Red Turbo in a long time, but that was cool to see him as well. And Kat as the Pink Turbo Ranger, that was great to see her as well. The other Rangers I'm like passingly familiar with, like the White Dino Thunder Ranger, and the Yellow Megaforce Ranger and stuff like that. But yeah, those other ones were obviously the ones that I grew up watching and stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, the Falcon Zord finale was awesome. Just morphing right into the White Ranger, going inside the Falcon Zord and stopping that arrow and destroying Lord Draven, who was giant at that point. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. It was a kind of a pump-up moment, too. I really, the theme was going, and I was really into that part. So that was cool that they had Tommy sort of save the day. And the Falcon Zord just randomly brought out the Falcon Zord. That's so cool. So I really enjoyed that. I think a lot of people liked that Tommy kind of got to save the day in this one. So that was great. I really enjoyed it. And, they have that little saying at the end. What is it? Rangers? I wrote down. Rangers forever, defending together. I know it's Power Rangers. I know everything's super cheesy. I mean, you're coming from my era with More Phenomenal and all that kind of thing. But I don't like that line at all. Do you guys like that line? Rangers forever, defending together. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Kind of made me go like, ugh. But small, teeny criticism. We also saw at the end that Tommy and Kat were holding hands as they left that dark dimension or whatever. That this didn't confirm or deny that Kat is the mother of JJ, Tommy's son, or like who's the mom? Like, is Tommy married to Kat? Is this like a divorce situation? Maybe we'll get into more of that. I'm pretty sure we will get into more of that in the Soul of the Dragon comic that's coming out. So maybe they're just kind of planting the seeds for that, and they got a little tie in there, like I said earlier, with his son just being brought up at all. So those are my thoughts. I think that's all the notes I wrote down there. It was fun just to go back and see stuff. Sometimes even like the Ninja Steel Rangers, Super Ninja Steel Rangers, I thought were more bearable and tolerable. I was more tolerable of them, and they were pretty good in terms of just having them in the episode more than like the Megaforce Rangers, which for the Legendary Battle, that's what I'm comparing it to, and especially that Red Ranger, I was like, I don't know, in Megaforce. But these guys are pretty decent. I thought that they were fine. They didn't like detract from the anniversary and stuff. And after all, it is their show, so they should be a centerpiece of this episode. And I thought it was pretty good. I want to hear what you guys think of this 25th anniversary of the Power Rangers below. I would love to see more stuff with the Legendary Rangers, and maybe shooting some specials or something like that, more along the lines of the Kyle Higgins Shattered Grid short film, the Prelude and everything. But that's another topic for another day, I think. I mean, should the Power Rangers grow up with us? Should our Power Rangers grow up with us? Should some stuff be more mature in terms of live action footage and shows and stuff like that, or series or whatever, movies? Let me know in the comments what you think of that too, but I think that's something to bring up maybe in a later video. But I'm looking forward to seeing some more stuff. I'm not sure what they're going to be playing for the rest of the 25th anniversary, the rest of the year, or whatever, but if they have anything else going on, I'll be there to check it out, especially if they release that Master Morpher. I'm going to have to see if I could afford that. We'll see what's going to happen there, but it looks pretty good. But let me know your thoughts, again, on this episode and the legacy of the 25th anniversary and everything that happened in this episode. Let me know. I will be back here with a new video very soon. Make sure you go ahead and check out the top 5 best Muppets that just went up over on Channel Awesome's YouTube page. And I will be back here with a new video soon. I will be back on Channel Awesome with new top 5 next week. And I will see you then, guys. Thanks for watching.